Hey guys, Nomus RC. It's been a minute since I've made a video, so I got some new stuff in. I figured I would kind of put a little bit of information out there. That's what I really base my channel on, is just putting info out there that hopefully isn't out there already. To kind of give back to YouTube from what I've taken for 20 years, you know. Uh, so this is my old X-Maxx body. It actually lasted a really long time, and it's still technically good because I actually had two bodies and I doubled them up and I shoe glued them together. So this is actually two bodies thick. And then I added this yoga block in the back to keep the truck bed from bending and breaking off, which it absolutely did. So as we can see, because I'm pretty hard on it on the concrete and asphalt, it's completely worn through right there. Surprisingly not so much on this side. And then the tailgate is obviously trashed because that's one of the main spots that really takes hard abuse. The body is doubled up, so it's got something underneath it there. But, you know, it's just getting really weathered. So I figured that I would buy a new canopy for it. And ta-da! Wow, look at that. This is a Unbreakable body, Russian Federation. Super thick. I mean, I had to use freaking power tools just to cut the dang thing. Lexan scissors and body reamers do not work on these bodies. I mean, it would if you sat there forever, but drill bits and tin snips are what you really need. That's the effective tools for these bodies. So I actually did order stickers as well, but I went ahead and made some because I'm a freak. I made some carbon fiber stickers. But the bigger thing that I want to talk about with these bodies is what I see online. So this is the information that I want to get out there. Most people know, and if you don't already, they are not an exact direct fit. I mean, they're really close. I mean, it has these little indentions just like what's on the normal X-Maxx body, but they're just, I think it's the way that they form the body. If you can tell, lines aren't perfectly sharp and crisp. It's more kind of rounded. So, and it winds up making the mounting areas that are very specific just a little bit wonky. So let me show you what I did to make this body work properly. So when we want to take it off, we just undo the latch back here. We pop it open just like you normally would. We pull it up, and then we literally pop it off. Normal, 100%. So most people with a lot of these bodies, and this one would have worked out to be the same way, it gets really stuck up front. And there's a reason for that. So if you can see, my cage is a little bit weird here. This portion of the cage is not supposed to be outside of the body. It's normally on the regular body. It's inside the body, because you can see this roof is a lot longer. This one is not as long. So what I did personally is I made sure that I had pretty much the exact same space right here as what I do on the original body. It winds up being further forward, so some people trim these down. The bodies pop off already all the time. You don't want to trim this down. You absolutely don't want to do that. So what I did is I actually placed this first where I wanted it. And then from there, I worked my way back and screwed everything up alignment-wise to make this latch with the rear of the chassis. So the way that happened is I had to cut the bar out on this roll cage. I had to cut it out. And then these are normally supposed to sit down in this groove right here. Right? And same with these. They're supposed to be further forward and sit down in this groove. Well, that didn't work for me, because if I would have had it that far forward, there would have literally been like this much space in between this thing and the body itself. So again, this is a surefire way to keep it from being a pain in the ass to take on and off. The whole point of an X-Maxx, one of the biggest selling points, is that batteries are super easy to change because of the body and because of the way that the batteries are held in. Don't ruin that. If you ruin that, you kind of ruin the whole experience of an X-Maxx, in my opinion. But that's okay because some, you know, it's difficult. Like when you get a body, you know, I've been doing it for 20 years, cutting out, painting bodies, putting holes in them. You know, I mean, it is kind of an art. You know, you have to really, really understand what you do in the beginning is going to affect your outcome. And so, again, I push this all back. All right. And then what I did, again, in the rear here, is I cut this bar out. I went ahead and just put 2 holes in it and then put screws and washers and everything to hold it on. Honestly, it's more just for look than anything. But I did shoe glue the hell out of it, so they're kind of connected back together again. I'm sure it'll pop loose, but this will all still look the same, regardless if the shoe glue holds up or not. So that's my take on this body. Let me just show you what an install is like with a Russian Federation body that's done properly. So just like the original, you put it down on there, you jam it forward, and then you push this down, and then you push this down, and then, I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit tighter to get that to latch than the original X-Maxx body, but there it is. And now it's latched, and it's good to go. One thing that I will really, really say about this body, the Dodge Ram one that is, I mean, look at it. It looks amazing, and it is so much wider than the stock body. That's how wide the stock body is. So these fender wells really, really stick out. And these Russian bodies, the material that they give you, I mean, it's like clear down to here. It's literally like clear down to here. You got to cut off all of this off of the body, which, to be honest, is kind of cool. It's a pain in the ass to cut, but it's cool that they give you that much, because then you can kind of leave this however you want. Like, you can see that the fender wells are probably only designed to come to right here. Well, I left them bigger because it doesn't hit the tire and it looks better. You get a little bit wider stance to your vehicle. I mean, that thing is insane, and it's so huge. It makes it look gigantic. It's completely ridiculous. This is next to an arm ascension. It's insane. And if you don't already know, guys, these bodies are just a few dollars more than the stock bodies. Now, they do take forever to get them, but they're not much more expensive, and they actually warranty these bodies. If you can actually destroy it, they'll replace it. So that's a pretty cool concept. Now, I've seen people take these, run them over with cars, do whatever, and then smash it out with a hammer just to get it back into shape. And it's still fine. Rips and tears is almost impossible on these bodies. They're made out of some type of weird plastic. I don't know what. It's not Delrin, it's not Lexan. I don't know what it is, but it's beefy. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to put that out there. Really, really be careful where you put your initial mounts at when you put these bodies together with the original X-Maxx hardware. As long as your placement is correct, this thing will go on and off just like the original. As always, guys,